All them eggs did not hatch. All those eggs did not hatch. Make sure you hit the bell so you can see the egg autopsy of those eggs. The other Caternix, you know, not the buttons. That's what we're about to do. We're about to open them eggs. All right, folks, so I'm getting all these eggs out of the incubator, and we are about to start doing the egg autopsy. Okay, this is 37 eggs. All right, so if you're in for this is gonna take a minute, and this is for those who are interested in seeing this and seeing the results. All right, so that is a non-fertile egg. All right, I'm gonna take these out and just stick them where it's easier to grab. So I'm doing these a dozen at a time. Uh-oh. This one. Oh, look at that. There's a rotten yolk at this point. And there definitely ain't a bird in there. Something's in there. Ugh. Oh, look at that. Another partial, or maybe this one is a partial development. Look at this. Yeah, that is a partial development. Okay, so we have 2 partial developments. All right, now I'm wishing that I had these in a separate, and keep track of these better. Please keep watching, hit the plus 10 seconds, you know, fast forward, you know. But this is all live in real time, you know. Okay. So that's really disappointing because that's 2, I mean, those are super, look at this guy. Super early quit. Tiny little thing. And this one was too. Don't know what that's all about. All right, let's keep going. All right, infertile. Infertile. Where's the camera? Infertile. 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 Oops, that one went everywhere. Definitely infertile. That was a weird noise change. Infertile. Infertile. All right, so far we have 2 that are fertile out of the first dozen. Okay. I'm gonna scoot these over because it's easier to drop it underneath the infertile. Infertile. Or, yeah, just ugly. Infertile. 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 Oh, that one's squished. Infertile. Ugh. Infertile. 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 All right, so that's a dozen, 2 dozen, and an extra. So it's 25 right here. All right. And these two represent 25. And this represents the last dozen. So that's a little better than having tons of dead birds or birds that were about to hatch. If you've been paying attention and you've hit that bell, you know that we gave 2 days past the first hatch, which happened at midnight, and then one more at 3 o'clock. Then we gave it 48 hours. We were about to do this morning, then we woke up and there was a hatch, or there was a bird. So we're at 25 eggs so far, 2 fertile. Uh-oh, this one feels different. Nope, infertile. Ooh, look at that. That's infertile and old. See how low that air sac is? That's an old egg. Ooh, look at that. It's another old egg. Look at how low. See that right there? A float test, which I didn't do, would have found that. Infertile. Infertile. Oh, that made a mess. Infertile. Infertile. Oh, look at there. It's another partial. It's so weird to me that these eggs are stopping. You know, because that's, I mean, the only thing I can see, and this happened in another egg, see how low that is right there, that skin sac? To me, this was an old egg with a viable, you know, seed in it. And it started to grow and it ran out of room. It couldn't grow no more. So it's 3 technically fertile. Viable is another question. Oh, that's definitely not. Infertile. 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 And infertile. Okay, so this batch of, let's see, 40, is that right? We have 37 eggs here, 3 hatched, so that's 40 plus 24. So this was a batch of 40 eggs and 6 were fertile. 1, not that batch. All right, so see this, and this. Very sad. That's a little head. So 1, 2, 3 fertile eggs that didn't make it, and 3 fertile eggs that hatched out of 64. No, wait. Let me say that again. Out of 40. So 6 eggs out of 40 were fertile. And so far we've gotten 64 eggs from this lady. And we've had a total, see, 6 and 9, 15 verified fertile eggs out of 64. There's only been 15. So we'll see what she's gonna do. You know, she sent me a text and said, you know, she was hoping to have a better hatch this time. But she mentioned that since it was cold, that maybe that was why. Hey folks, today we are going to talk about these right here. I don't know which way that's going to show it to you, but it says fresh delicious quail eggs, 1 dozen, Sweet Quail and Eggs, Crescent City, California. 646-434-9521. LisaFarrow96@gmail.com. So we found these eggs, button eggs. My wife's been wanting some button quail on Craigslist. And we ordered 2 dozen. They're $10 a dozen. Now, to me, I think that's a little high for eggs. But nobody has button eggs. They are kind of rare. So if they're all fertile, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Little under $1 a bird if they all hatch for the eggs, not to mention everything else. So here's what happened. We ordered 24 eggs and went through the hatch, waited 21 days to make sure everything that was going to hatch hatched. Did an egg autopsy. You can watch that video on my channel. We had 9 fertile eggs. That means at some point they had the right thing in the egg. Viability, different issue. Watch the video. So we had 6 hatch that lived, and out of those 6 there was 3 more that were fertile. So we had 9 total. So Lisa did the right thing and she replaced the eggs. Now, I should have known when she handed me 40 eggs that she might not have been so confident that they were fertilized. So she texted me later on, after, midway through the hatch or right here towards the end, and said that, it seems like the cold weather may have affected fertility rate. So she gave us 40 eggs that time. Okay? So if she considered what I considered viable, then she was really only on the hook for 19. Is that right? 18. 24 minus 6, 18. So if she had given me 18 viable eggs, or just 18 eggs, if she just handed me 18 eggs, I'd have been fine. But she handed me 40, so I was super happy with that. Because I was like, surely to goodness, we're going to get enough birds out of 40 more eggs. Well, we didn't. So the egg has affected fertility rate. So anybody who has got eggs from her, maybe it's just me, I don't know how many she's got, and you've had a fertility issue, don't give up on your incubator, because we did the egg autopsy, as you've seen in this video. And so this time we got 40 eggs. We had 7 or 6 fertile. I went back and watched the video, and there might have been another one that was fertile and I didn't push on it enough. Either way, it was really early if it was. There was hardly any embryo if it was, but going back at the video, I think that I saw one that may have had a super early development, which would have made 7 fertile eggs out of 40, and 3 hatched. Okay? So total we have 9 birds, 3 little chicks, 6 that are almost a month old. So overall, that's 64 eggs, 15 fertile, not all viable. That's my opinion. Not all viable, and 9 that hatched. So if you do the math on 64 eggs, right now, in the cold, Lisa's birds are popping out a 23.4% fertility rate. Now, of the fertile eggs, including the ones that I do not consider viable, that were viable because of age, but if you include those, we had a 60% hatch rate. If you take away the ones that I personally, watched the video, did not think were viable, then we had an 81 to 100% hatch rate. So that's pretty good. So anybody out there looking for button quail eggs, this lady right here in Crescent City, might be backwards to you, LisaFarrow96@gmail.com. Give her a call. The weather's been warmer. The snow melted. It's been warmer outside. Maybe this next set of eggs is going to be viable and fertile. That's a key. Age is one thing. Fertility is another. So thank you all for joining. I hope you learned something. Just remember, guys, if your eggs don't hatch, take the time and autopsy them. So many people I see, I had a horrible hatch. I'm taking this incubator back. Maybe it's not your incubator. Maybe it's your eggs. Maybe it's your birds. Maybe it's the season. So don't give up. I encourage everybody to keep incubating, keep growing birds. If you want some birds, hit me up. What I got, I got. We're getting ready to do the Coturnix Quail Lisa Farms mix. We're going to do the egg autopsy next on that. So hit the bell and subscribe. Thank you if you made it to the end. I appreciate you. Pass it on to anybody you know that's interested. And welcome to our farm. Hope to see you again. This is the final breakdown. We've got 15 fertile eggs, 9 viable eggs. So you can look at us, have received 62% of our order or 38% of our order. So we've spent equivalent of $60 and 2 months for 9 chicks.